Hi everyone and welcome back to Path of Exile Ultimatum. The Ice Project 2 is here again, and I've made some progress. I have made a little bit of progress. I've made 200 chaos. Maybe more than, I think 300 chaos. I invested 100 of it. Pretty much overall into this league, so I'm taking it slow as I said. I'm breaking into the tier 14 to 16 maps, and you might think, really? And yeah, the thing is, I killed all the conquerors in the outer regions, so yeah, Awakening level 4 is here. I did kill the Hunter, which went well, but it showed me the problem that I have at the moment with this build. And yeah, we will talk about it a little bit. So, I expected damage to fall off in tier 12 maps, around there, right? That's where I was like, okay, I probably can get until tier 12 without investing too much, or like 100C, right? Yeah. Honestly, that was a pretty good estimate. To be honest, I had... Ow, wow, these guys need to die with Herald of Ice Explosion. Yeah, I mean, it was a fair estimate, and to be quite honest with you, this amount of clear speed is okay for me. At the moment, I think it's fine. You do notice that the damage does fall off though, right? You do see that it falls off. And that's okay. That is absolutely fine, right? That is no problem whatsoever. As I said, I expected it to happen sooner, to be honest. And I'm still quite surprised how well the build clears tier 14 maps. To be fair, once we reach the boss though, you will see what I mean with the damage falling off though. It depends a little bit on the map rules as well. But for the most part, I think... Hey, tier 9 atoll, noise. For the most part, I think it is now noticeable to a point where I'm thinking I need to upgrade, right? And as I said, I thought I would have to do this a little bit sooner. The fact that I was able to kill Alhazmin, it's not because my damage was that outstanding. No, it was just like it's the fight I understand the best, and I can manage the fight without getting hit once nowadays, if I am focusing enough. And yeah, so that's how that fight went, right? I didn't record it, unfortunately, but pretty much it's just dodge everything he does. It's not that hard once you understand everything he can do. And if you do fight him enough times, you will definitely have seen all what he can do, right? So, another weakness that I do see happening with this build at the moment is... I think it started actually in around the start of red maps, which is basically stuns are happening a lot more, right? And stuns aren't fun. They can get you killed pretty easily, and especially bosses tend to tend to be pretty nasty with stuns. With Vaal Righteous Fire, you can see that our damage is not too bad, right? Without it, you can definitely see that it falls off, and that's what I mean, right? We did get stunned there and we almost died. So that is, in my opinion, one of the biggest problems that I am facing right now with this build. The damage fall off I can live with. That's fair enough, right? The way you get around with not having more damage is to play safer. So, guess what? We need to sort out that stun problem so that we can actually play safe, right? It didn't went too bad for us here, right? Obviously this is not a choose map, this is not anything like Yeah, nothing special, right? That was just pretty much Alk and Go on the map, which is okay. That's fair, right? But yeah, the stuns are a little bit of a problem, and I need to figure out a way to fix that. Getting more life will fix it, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do that in a good manner. And yeah, so 200C is a little bit of a good budget to upgrade, honestly. I did find this staff, by the way, which I might use later on. For now, I really like the singularities. They work fairly well for me. And the upgrade I do have in mind, the very expensive one, would go back to two similar things in here that cost around 2x a piece. So yeah, the best upgrade we can get at the moment is to 6-link our spell crit chest. Yes, it only has 80 max life, but that's okay. We have a good amount of evasion, which will be needed to actually cap out our estimated chance to evade attacks, which is quite low at the moment. Even with our Jade Flask, we are only at 40%, right? The dodge will be capped once we have Wall Grace, so that works pretty nice. And you might think, wait, but the spell dodge doesn't add up to 75, right? Which is correct. We have to take something else into consideration, which is elusive, right? That will help us as well. We did Uber Ascent, by the way, so we are now Reflect immune, considering we are dealing crits. So that's not too bad, right? Absolutely love the easy power charge generation that Assassin offers. That's very nice, and the main reason I wanted to try this build as an Assassin. But for the future I will go back to an Elementalist or to a Witch for sure. I was playing around a little bit with Elementalist as well as Occultist. They offer a variety of different things, right? So with Elementalist we could go and get more of our Golem friends running, which also they do increase damage with the Ascendancy, right? So that is an idea that I am playing around with right now in my head and in path building. And Occultist has this nice Ascendancy point that, or there were 2 or 3. Well, the whole Ascendancy is pretty nice if you're going cold damage. Basically, you lower cold resistance around you, you cannot be chilled or frozen, which is amazing. That offers up another suffix on the Quicksilver Flask, right? Either Adrenaline, if you want to get even more movement speed, or a thing like Dowsing, honestly, or Warding if you wouldn't have that on another flask, right? So that could be something. Yeah, we might play around with that. The Osiris Promise is pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie, that Leech helps, which is why I wanted to explore with the Elementalist as well as the Occultist. The Occultist has one thing as well, which is you cannot be stunned if you have Energy Shield, right? I mean, what we lose with going aggro face aggro is 30% less Energy Shield is the penalty you take. And obviously less armor, right, which we do not scale at all, so giving this amount of dodge up and lose all the evasion, right, because we would go into Life Energy Shield Hybrid, we would end up with a better life and energy shield pool, obviously, but I am not sure if it's worth it, to be honest. To counteract here a little bit is Soul of the Brine King, right? I need to upgrade this so we get increased stun and block recovery. We could also try and get this on our gear and yes, alleviate some pressure there, right? Because at some point we definitely want to go back for Lunaris and Solaris. Rislatha at the moment is pretty nice. Yeah, I have upgraded this one, which is I think I now have Divine Vessels. Yeah, I have 2, so I could start upgrading stuff. Yeah, but the stuns are quite annoying, quite dangerous as well, so that is something I need to mess around with. Other than that, I'm happy with the assassin, honestly. It works very, very well. It plays pretty smoothly, as you saw. And yeah, it was a fun experiment. And we are nearing our goal, right? We need to get these 3, and then we will challenge Cyrus. So yeah, how did I progress into the red maps? It was a struggle, like for everybody else. I had to buy maps at some point as well. We changed around maps with 2 or 3 friends that are playing at the moment. We moved around some maps between us, right? And that's how I was able to finally break into red maps. I'm gonna say once completion was over around 50-ish, and the awakening level was on like awakening level 2, it got a bit better with the map drops, but I was struggling. I really was struggling with map drops, so don't get discouraged. It will take some time, and you might have to buy a little bit of maps, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, my currency is in shambles, right? I mean, 200 chaos is nice, but those will be used for rolling maps if they have reflect on it and stuff that I can't run, right? And maybe to invest into a couple of upgrades regarding boots, gloves, helmet, maybe a new amulet, maybe a new anointment. The anointment I would like to have is Heart of Ice. That will give us some energy shield leech as well. Increased cold damage, which is not that important, but damage penetrates 6% cold res. That would be a huge damage boost. So that is way more than the 50% increased elemental damage, right? That's just how it works. Yeah, so I am currently working
Just need a moment
on the build. I want to see how the Assassin Rat plays out. I think it's a nice build. It works for what I want it to, right? It might not meet your wishes or like what you would expect from it. For me, it's enough. I'm glad that I was able to push as far as I am right now with this build, and I'm pretty sure I can push as far with an Elementalist or an Occultist if I try that, and we might come back to that in a little bit. For now, I will focus on getting towards Cyrus and see how that goes, right? So the next video should be me fighting Cyrus, and we will see if I can make it or not. Honestly, it depends on how good I remember the mechanics, how well I play it, and I think the statement I made right last league was I never want to play against Cyrus with under 1 million DPS. I don't think I will be able to reach 1 million even with the gear upgrades. The thing is, right, you could just go to maximum intensity stacks, which is 4, and probably we will reach the 1 million. The thing is, I will be maximum at 2, maybe 3, because honestly, Cyrus damaging, Cyrus teleport, Cyrus damage, teleport, and with each teleport we will lose and reset intensity stacks, right? So the fight will look probably like this, teleporting around a lot, firing back at him, teleporting away, firing back at him, never really reaching the 4 intensity that we would like to reach, okay? So that's why I say it's probably going to be very, very difficult to get a good number on 2 or 1 or 2 intensity, and I'm not worried too much about it because we are chilling, right? So we will be able to reduce his action speed, which should be very helpful as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Compared Witch and Assassin, what are the benefits of Assassin? You have easier power charge generation because you have a chance to do it on crit and non-crit with the Ascendancy that we took here, right? Also more max power charges, if I do remember correctly. And also we will lose Elusive, which is a bit sad because Elusive is really, really fun and really, really cool. to play with. So that's the benefits of Assassin, easier power charge generation, and getting elusive fairly easy. We might find a way with the Witch as well, with Elementalist or Occultist to get that. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, honestly. I'm looking forward to see if I can do it with the build. If I can do it, I might consider this to be like my league start thing to do with just Freezing Pulse. But I also want to see if I can do it with a Witch, right? So I will not decide after this league if this could be a good league starter. I'm not even sure if I will league start with this next league, or like the Elementalist version or Occultist version of this. So there's a lot to be find out, I guess. We will see though, we will see. As I said, next video about PoE will be me fighting Cyrus, and we will see how it goes. Until then, I will be working on the build. I will be testing out stuff as much as I can, and see if I can improve the build to a point where I feel like, okay, now it feels very good. It doesn't. The thing is, right? You want to feel it good during leveling, but you also want to scale it well into endgame, and I'm not really sure if it does that. Leveling was a breeze, I think, on the Witch more so than the Shadow, but that's just because I'm not too used to leveling a Shadow that isn't a Trickster, right? So yeah, Assassin, that was a first, but it was fun. I think the Witch is easier to level with, but that's just personal preference, to be honest. I'm just more used to it, right? So yeah, those are the plans, and until then, I hope you guys are having a good time, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care. Bye.